does it feel if Anderson has the role he had in the first 10 minutes? He would have not got anywhere near overtime without the way he played.
He was amazing the first 10 minutes, and outstanding. And we were able to collect ourselves after the first period by him holding us in there. I thought Middlestead to Dahlin, a huge goal at the end of the first, so we go in tied 1-1 at the end of the first. We could have been down 4-1 or 5-1. And our guys at that point understood the competitive level of that game, and we rose to it. And I thought the second period was great. And then obviously the third and overtime. So you have our oldest player in Anderson do what he did early on that was so important. And then our youngest player finishes it off first with a goal post in overtime, and then obviously the goal in overtime. So heck of a night for Owen all the way through.
You were on him on the bench in that first period. Was it just a case of puck management? Was just really herky-jerky off the start there?
The ice is a little funny. The puck was not sitting at all, and that gave us some trouble, and we got in our own heads, and we couldn't simplify it. We just didn't feel the puck like normal, and we tried to go lateral instead of deep on plays. And this is one hell of a hockey team. Obviously, lots of teams. You play against $80 million of players every night, and they'll take advantage of simple mistakes. And we were struggling at first until we kind of found our legs and found our game. And again, Anderson was good, but yeah, it was a challenge in the first outright, and then we made it even more challenging on ourselves.
Craig always says it's the fun that keeps him coming back, the love of the game. Where do you see that from him?
Well, hopefully that's the environment we have. That these guys love being here and love to play because it's all about. I think the belief for all of us is the guys will fight harder for what they love and compete harder for what they love. And I think Andy is a big part of both ends of that. Even the post game, he talked about the camaraderie of the team, the love of the team by the teammates, and he knows he's had a lot of years in the NHL, and there's not going to be a lot of years left in the NHL for him. So he knows every moment's special, and tonight was another one of those.
Owen Power has had a lot of chances to score and has done a lot for this team. What did it mean for you to see him finally get the first one in that spot?
Really nice. It's really nice for him. We all know how it is. It's just such a relief for all these guys that have talent. I mean, he could have had 6 or 7 or 8 goals by now, and none of us would have been surprised. Obviously, I mentioned he hit the goalpost a couple seconds prior to actually scoring. So he's put himself in scoring areas. He's generated scoring high quality scoring chances. He just hasn't hit the back of the net. So lots of times when you break that ice, as he did tonight, more are to follow pretty soon, and we hope that is the case because he's a very talented offensive player as well as a defensive player.
What kind of confidence do you have in this team on the road in overtime? Now, this is a young team, and the places they won in overtime this year is pretty remarkable.
Nothing but confidence in this group. That doesn't mean we're not going to go through what we went through tonight. Again, you're playing in the NHL. You have an $80 million payroll against you almost every night in the NHL, and you're playing against great players. So what I like is within the context of the game, we didn't lose composure, one, and we found ways that we identified with the right way to play and how to win a game, and then we hammered on it until they got the result. So their ability to adjust and adapt within a game is evidence of their skill level and their talent and their potential. And so yes, you'd love to have a better start. But again, you're playing nothing but great teams, and you got to deal with when you don't have a great start. It can't take you off getting to your game, and that's where I give our guys lots and lots of credit. To get to their game was not an easy task tonight.
What can you tell us about what the scene was like in there for Craig after that game, the way some of those guys just, I'm sure paid tribute to him, was thrilled for him to get that win? Yeah, we talked about it before the game, Craig being a part, all of us being a part of Craig's 700th game, and I think the guys enjoyed that, and that was the first comments as they got back as he walked back in the locker room, the excitement to be part of something bigger than just the game itself tonight, and that's the history of his career. And pretty neat, and
and it wasn't like we helped him out of the gate, as we all know. So hats off to him. He earned it and deserved it.
Speaking of great players, what is it like to game plan against Jason Robertson?
Yeah, it's Jason Robertson is extremely impressive. That is a very, very talented hockey player, and it's a talented team. And he's surrounded by lots of other very, very good hockey. But he's a special player, and this fan base, so they'll be filling the building to watch him for years to come.